Okay, good morning everyone. So today we're going to the final chapter of this semester about subdivision modeling. Usually in industrial design and architecture design, we don't use subdivision modeling that often. If you want to make some organic model like human character, animal, or probably some fluent free forms, that's the best solution you can do is using subdivision modeling. But unfortunately, subdivision modeling is not a very precise and accurate way to do the model. So usually, when for the industrial designer or architecture designer, they don't use this one that often. But still, sometimes if they want to create something super dramatic fluent space, or probably some futuristic sports car, they can use in nerves and subdivision model to do that. So you can create the best effect. And inside Rhinosis for subdivision model is not a very mature tool, but basically it can cover almost probably most of the function just like Blender or Maya. But if you want to go for probably professional modeler, it's still better for you to learn animation software rather than using CAD design software. But if you just want to stick to one software to cover everything, I would say, okay, right now is pretty much enough. Okay, so let's take a look. First thing is we need to know the difference between NURBS modeling, mesh modeling, and subdivision modeling. Inside Rhinosis, we have these three different ways for model. The most common way is using NURBS modeling. It also called non-uniform rational B-spline. And this is the standard industrial modeling way. Usually we will use this way to transmit different information inside our digital model so that the factory and also the machine can read the file inside your model and make a very precise and accurate prototype or manufactures. And the second way, usually we call this one mesh or polygon. That's something we are very often to see inside animation modeling, and we can use this one to create something rigid, solid, and also probably vertical or horizontal model. And final thing is subdivision model. Basically, it's just very similar to polygon model, and but it just smooths the model and hidden the extra edge, so that with these vertex and edge, we still can control the form of the geometry. Just imagine that. If you are really working on this kind of geometry, for sure, for the edge right here, it's supposed to have many sections inside. But because for now our computer is way more powerful than before, so we can hide the edge in between. So we can just using this vertex like this one. We're only using probably around 18 points to control this complicated freeform geometries. But actually there is still some invisible segment in between these points. So basically subdivision and mesh polygon is the same things. They're using points and the vertex and segment to construct your form. But the major difference is that subdivision is the preview smoother model of the polygon. So just imagine this one. Once we smooth this one, we give this one some round edge, but we still hidden the little segment in between the lines, the edge, and the boundary. It will become subdivision model. So it becomes a very intuitive way to do the modeling because when we are working on nerves, yes, we can do the same things. For example, like let's create a sphere and turn on the control vertex. That's similar to subdivision, but still a little bit different because inside nerves we cannot directly extrude or divide the face and do something similar to polygon or mesh. But inside subdivision we can do that. So if you want to create a character model or some organic animals, it's better to use subdivision modeling. And right now, Rhinosys is because Rhinosys is a CAD software, so you can transform your modeling way in between these three different types, including NURBS. You can transform your subdivision model to NURBS. That's very important because when you create some organic model and you want to go to factory to fabricate to manufacture your model, yeah, we need to transform this one to NURBS model. And also for sure you can transfer this one to polygon model and export them to Blender, Maya, 3ds Max. So it's a very powerful tool. But unfortunately for me, the subdivision model inside Rhinosys is not that intuitive at all. So probably if you are the user of Maya or Blender, you will feel a little bit painful, just like myself. Okay, so let's take a look. For sure, the NURBS model you already know. Let's take a look. If we create, rather than using cube, let's use a sphere. Let's draw a sphere right here. If you press F10, you can find out, okay, there are multiple control points outside the NURBS surface. And inside this NURBS surface, actually it was wrapping by one planar surface. So this one is we call NURBS surface. And basically it's just like an integral of lower functions so that you can create from the this kind of segments or polyline or geometries, and you can create this kind of shape. All right, and if you want me to give you an example, just imagine NURBS modeling is exactly like Illustrator, the vector drawing Illustrator. No matter you zoom in, zoom out, or zoom in, the curvature and the smoothness of the model will keep the same. Okay, so let's turn off this one and let's go to the second one. Let's create, still let's base on the geometry, create a second sphere, but this time let's transform this one to polygon mesh options. Right, delete. So let's take a look. It looks fine, it looks very smooth, but if you look inside, you can find out actually this one was composed by multiple segments. Okay, if you press F10, you will find out there are multiple points, numerous points on the surface of the geometries, right? So that's about the polygon model. No matter what kind of geometry you want to compose, it requires enough vertex, enough face, and segments to construct the forms. Okay, finally, it's about subdivision model. Just like what I said before, you can choose this one and type in 2 sub D and press enter, and you can transfer this one to subdivision model. Okay, and press tab key. If you press tab key, you can transfer this one to smooth preview, which means the subdivision mode, so that when you press F10, you can do the modeling. But also you can press tab key again, transform your model back to the original polygon mode, so that you can know what kind of typology you have and what kind of geometry you have. So that's the amazing part of subdivision model. You can switch in between polygon and subdivisions. And also, inside Rhinosys, we can switch this one back to NURBS. It's very important functions, especially for industrial design and architecture design. Probably for animation and game, it's not that important at all, but with these functions, we can transform this one into NURBS again. And this is amazing function inside Rhino 7. So for now, we have the NURBS. But as far as you can see, because even for NURBS modeling, in order to compose this kind of complex geometry, it requires multiple phases. So you will have a lot of isopone and a structure line on the surface. But anyway, that's the things, and that's the new function inside Rhino 7. We can switch in between all these different modeling modes. Okay, so let's take a look of our node. And also inside NURBS modeling and polygon modeling, we can reference to the curve and the polyline. If you take a look of the curve, basically it was a super smooth curve, super smooth curve, and just like the things we have inside Adobe Illustrator, no matter you zoom in or zoom out, it will stay the same. And polygon is just like the polyline on the right side. So with this one, if you want to create this kind of curvatures, this kind of smooth curve, you need to have enough segments. So this is 2D part, and it was related to the 3D part. Alright, so let's turn off them. And I want to turn off the control point. Press F10 to turn off the control point. Okay, so let's take a look. First things, very important to know. If you want to transform the object, no matter it's about mesh, polygon, or NURBS, if you want to transform them into subdivision model, you can type in subd. If you want, you can take a screenshot right now, because I think it's something very fundamental and basic techniques inside subdivision model. And also, if you want to select, the most important part inside subdivision modeling is that we can select the vertex on the surface, we can select the face and the edge, so that we can directly manipulate all these elements of the geometries. So how can we do that? First thing is you can go to F10, go to the edit mode, and right now you can see that's the vertex on the geometries. And also hold on your Shift and Control key, you can select the face. And also, if you using the gumball, make sure you have turned on the gumball. Select the little dots in between the arrow. You can do extrusions, and for sure you can do the rotations, and also you can do the scale. If you want to scale in all directions, hold on your Shift key again, and you can scale them. So with this way, we can do the modeling, organic modeling, in a very easy way. Alright. So first thing, to subd, transform the object to subdivision object. Second, hold on your Shift and Control key, and you can select edge, or face, or vertex. And press F10, it's the same thing, just like when we are working on NURBS or mesh model. Press F10, you can turn on the AD mode. And finally, press Tab key, you can show the original typology of the geometries. Okay, so that's all about the subdivision model. And very important things to know, in order to get the right geometry in subdivision, you need to have appropriate typology. What's the meaning of appropriate typology? For example, let's take a look of this human head. If you want to make a real, no matter you prefer cartoon style character or maybe realistic modeling, the typology is always matter. Okay, let's take a look. If you want to, because the subdivision is just like it was preview smoother of your model. So if you want to have the right smooth preview, you need to have correct typology. So the typology means that the structure of the line must be correct. For example, if you want to create an eye, well, for sure you can create a lot of numerous faces and then move them one by one and each by each to have this kind of shape. But it's time consuming and almost impossible to do that. So rather than that, usually we will try to think about the low polygon or low face model of the face. And then to give this one correct wireframe, correct structure of lines. And what's the meaning of correct? Basically for human model or for animal or for organic structures, which means you have to follow the structure of the muscle. Okay? For example, for human being, let's take a look. Because our eyes will blink, will open and close. So you need to give this one like a ring, and this ring can shrink and also it can expand. So that when we are going to make animation or when we are going to make let's say game, we can use this way to give this one animation. So for this kind of typology, this kind of loop typologies, it will not create any sharp face. And also that's the same thing in the mouse. And another important thing is that try not to make any kind of a face which has more than 4 edge. For example, this is not very good. But because this part will not be moved, for example, when we are going to do animation, this part cannot be moved. The only thing we can move is our eyes, our nose, our mouth, or probably our ear. But this part, basically, we will not move them. So it's fairly okay. But anyway, when you are going to do model, try to avoid the face which have more than 5 age. And also, only in certain circumstance we will use in triangle face, because triangle face also not that good. And if you want to use in triangle face, you need to pretty sure that the flow of the face, and but that's something more advanced, and probably until next semester I will tell you how to do the appropriate typology inside when you are working on correct model. Anyway, just give you a preview and how to improve your ability about typology. The only thing is that you need to study anatomy and also take a look over the other professions typologies so that you will know how to do the typology of your human model, or how to do the typology of your organic stuff. Okay, so for today, the things we are going to do is to using this snake. Well, I'm going to do the snake model for this time, and probably I will not record the whole process because the whole process will be a little bit too long, more than 1 hour or 1.5 hours. So probably it's too time consuming. So anyway, I will do a roughly modeling for you guys, and you can take a look and using the reference image as the final result to finish this one. Okay, so let's put this one here. I will just using this one as a reference, but I will not using this one as a final result. I will redo that. And all the rest apart, I will also hide them. We can just create a new layer. I will call this one introductions and put all of them here. Change object layer and lock them. And for this one, yeah, I think we can put them into another layer. I will call this one reference. Okay. And put all of them inside and lock them. Okay, so for now, let's do this. First thing is, when we are going to make this kind of symmetry model, organic model, it's still better for you to have the reference image. So I already have some, so let's type in pictures, and you can import them inside. So this one. And the size is up to you, but I will rotate them probably smaller will be better. Hold on your shift key and you can scale in all directions, okay, using your gumball. And let's hold down your auto key, rotate this one into 90 degrees. Okay, so now we can start to do the modeling. Also, if you want, you can put this one in the center of this one, which means the center of the snake's head to the center of the image, so that we can use the side view and top view to take a look of the model. So let's do this. Let's use a move key, move this one more or less close to this. Again, subdivision model is not a very precise way to modeling, but I would say it's not about the scale. It cannot be precise on the scale, but it can be precise on the visual effect. So focus on the visual effect rather than the unit and the scale. Let's go to subdivision, and this time I'm going to create a subd box and probably create it right here. Alright, so now we have this one. Go to the side view. First thing is I will start with the side view. Okay, probably here. Go to the side view. And because we need to see the background reference image, so we can switch to, you can choose wireframe or you can choose ghosted. It will be easier for you. And now let's start to do the model. And because I don't want to touch them, so touch the reference, so I will put the reference, these two images, select all of them, right click on the layer, change object layer. And now let's start to do the model. First thing is let's go press F10, go to edit mode, and I'm going to select the face. We can change the size right here, and I will change the size right here. Okay, so let's select the face right here. Hold on your Shift and Control key, select all of them. Make sure you have selected the face, and then extrude. I think probably, yeah, we can just based on our intuitions to do the extrusion. For now, I only extrude probably 4 sections. Okay, but actually we don't need that much because this part about the mouse, I will separate them later. So probably we can move, select the points to the back side, and then select the bottom part of the face again, and then do extrusions. And for this part, it will be the bottom part, it will be the mouse. Okay, and we can move them down. And for the upper part, hold on your Shift and Control key, select the bottom upper face. Okay, so now we have the base typologies, basic geometry, and because I don't want to let them touch each other, it will create a lot of problems. Make sure they will not touch each other. They will not touch each other. Otherwise, when you are going to do animations, especially about animation stuff, inside like Maya or Blender, it will cause a lot of problems. So make sure they are not touch each other. And let's go to the ghosting mode, and we can start double click to this side. We can start to manipulate of the geometry just based on the forms of the snake's head. I will leave the detail for you guys to finish, okay? But anyway, I will make a roughly model for you so that you can take a reference, and also I will show all the techniques which I use this time. Okay, so probably for now you can see more or less it looks like the correct model. Okay, we can still do something more. Alright, and now since we have this one, let's go to the top view. Let's go to the top view. Move this one, move all of them into the center, more or less, more to the center of your model. And this time, I want to use it another way. Because for now, if I want to do the scale, we can, if I want to move this part, it will only move this part. It will not affect the other side. So actually, inside RenderSys, when we are working on this kind of symmetry model, we can go to reflect. Let's using this one and choosing a subdivision. So that's the one I want to reflect. And let's create a reflection plane. Select a vertex and hold on your Shift key. Draw a mirror plane. And you can choose a vertex and then press enter. And for now, no matter what kind of thing you've done here, it will automatically affect the other side. Let's do that again. Okay, as far as you can see. So for now, we only need to modify one side. So based on the reference image, let's quickly make this one. Sorry, we need to do is right side. It's this side, not the other side. Okay, let's take a look in 3D mode. Probably it doesn't look very precise, but more or less it has a roughly basic form. So let's take a look of this of my final one. For sure, I have do a lot of detail right here, but okay. So maybe for now it's time to test your own aesthetic. Let's select the face, but move this one outside. And also go to the side view. Maybe we need to change a little bit about this one. Move them up. And what if I want to create more face right here? So let's go to subdivisions tools and choosing the using your right mouse button to choose an insert subdivision loop. So insert sub the edge ring, choosing this one. And I want to create an edge right here. So let's choose these sections and press enter. And you can close sections. So now you have more face to control. Press F10 again to do some manipulations. Okay. Basically, this part is really based on your own technique and aesthetics. So, unfortunately, there is not much I can help you. The only way you can do is to practice your own observations and try to make a better one. But for the typology part, yeah, yes, that's the things I can do for you. I want to focus on this one. So let's focus on this part. Okay, so basically more or less I have a rough face right here. So the next part is that I want to strengthen the muscle right here. So let's select the face right here, probably all of them, and extrude. And you can scale down this one. Shift, hold on Shift key, scale, and move up. Alright, so this part looks stronger. Seems like it has a muscle on its side. But I don't want the face edge right here. So let's hold on your Shift and Control key, select the face, select the edge, and press delete. Okay, so also I want to move this one out. So let's move a little bit. Select this one. Select the face right here. Select the vertex right here. Okay, so this part I will assume, let's assume this part has been finished, and you can do that by yourself, okay? This is the muscle. And let's choose deal with the eye. Let's go to the side view, front view. Right here I need an eye. So probably I need one more edge right in the middle so that when I am going to extrusion this face, it will not affect the other side. So let's go to subdivision tool again and using the ring edge loop tool, insert edge loop tool. Select this one and press enter. And the position will be here, probably a little bit too high, but anyway I can adjust manually. Move them down and scale up a little bit. Move them inside. Move this one outside. Okay, so let's select the face right here. Hold on your Shift and Control key, go to perspective view. Now I'm going to extrude the eyeball. I'm going to create the eye holes for putting the eyes. So let's select this one and let's scale down a little bit. Hold on your Shift key to scale down. Again, extrude again so that you can create a hole inside. And probably the shape is not correct, but we can adjust the geometries. Let's go to the side view and change a little bit just based on your reference. Sometimes you may find out, okay, the reference is really not enough because it's a 3D geometry and the organic stuff. So unfortunately, that's something you have to overcome. If you want to become a modeler or if you want to become, let's say, CG sculptors, that's something you need to overcome. You need to know you need to know how to do the modeling without the reference image. Okay, you need to imagine what kind of things will happen on that part, and it's something very intuitive stuff. Okay, so now we have this one, but I hope we can create another line in the middle of this area so that we can transform the forms of the eye right here. So let's go to here again and let's click. Okay, probably no. Alright, let's forget about that. Alright, so probably now we have, well, I think a fairly okay snack head. Probably a little bit too fat, so I want to scale down a little bit. Okay. And another thing is that if you want to insert a face in between this face, how can we insert a H line? So for example, you want to do the typology in between this face. How can we do that? Let's click here, insert point to mesh or sub D. And now you can choose, it will automatically switch back to the original typology. And you can choose 2 H line or even more, you can choose more and press enter and you will be done. Okay, that's a way we will using for creating the geometry, the new edge. And also, for example, I don't want to have this face. I want these two edges be merged with one. So how can we do that? So here is a way. Let's select this one. Let's select the face. It's better for you to switch back to the original mode. So press tab key so you can switch back to the polygon mode. Select these two face, two vertex, and type in stitch, or you can just click right here. I think it's right here, stitch. Okay, so now you can drag the point to this side or another side. So I will merge to here and press enter, and let's go back to edit mode, smooth preview mode. You can see the result. Okay, so now let's move this one. I think it will be better compared to directly using put the joint right here, so you can create this kind of fluent geometries. All right, so now we have the eye holes, but I want to strengthen this area. So how can we do that? Actually, very easy. Let's go to hold on your Shift and Control key, select the face right here, and also select the face right here. And let's select all of them. Actually, we can select the face, and for extrusions, select here and extrusions. And probably this probably looks weird, so we need to delete the edge right now, right here. Delete. So we can increase the edge of the eyes. And now I will move this one inside. And also we can choose in the face, the vertex right here. And also I want to move this one probably more inside. Okay. And let's go to the side view and take a look. Okay, I think for now, maybe not perfect, but more or less it looks okay. So I will move this one up. And now the rest part for the detail of the nose and its teeth, I think I will leave that part for you to model. It's very simple, just using extrusions again, and you can do that. Alright, so in order to take a better result, so I'm going to create a eyeballs for this for the snake. For now, it looks very fat, so I want to go to top view. Let's go to the top view, and probably go to tab mode, or go to F10, go to the edit mode, and make this one thinner. Okay, otherwise it will be super fat snake. Okay, and also this part, I think we can move this one a little bit forward. And for this side as well. Okay. Alright, so now let's create the eyeball for him. So let's create a sphere. Since right now we are working on subdivision model, so I will just use in subdivision sphere. But if you want, you can use another sphere as well. It doesn't matter because we were not working on the modeling of the eye. It's just a both, so we don't need to do that. Alright, let's mirror this one. Just using the same old tricks. Okay, now we have two eyeballs. Or another way is that since we are not going to do the modeling for this one, we can just direct select this and type in mirror. All the command inside Rhino still work. Okay. Alright, so now we have this one. So for the rest part, I'm going to extrude the body. So let's select them, go to F10, select the face. For extrusions, you can rotate, and also you can scale down. Let's go to the front view so it will be easier. Actually, I want to extrude just in one time and then we can do the cutting to give this one more segments, so it will be easier for me. So let's just directly extrude and then go to here, select the sections and give this one more section to manipulate. And I will redo that more section. Alright. And for this part, yeah, we can select the face again. Go to perspective, hold on your Shift and Control key to select all the face right here. Make sure you are not selecting other things, okay? But there's something wrong because when we are going to extrude, I forget to select the middle. So unfortunately, I have to redo that again, but it's okay. I think the most annoying part inside Rhinoceros is that it allows you to select the edge and the vertex in the same time. So usually in Maya, unless you do want to do that kind of thing, you can using multi-selections, but usually we will not do that. Alright, let's just extrusions. Okay, alright. Do I miss something here? Shift key, hold on the face. Okay, so now it works. Right here. Alright, I will stay here and then just directly do the manipulations. Let's go to the side view and using insert edge ring right here. Okay, now let's do the manipulations. Press F10 and you can imagine what kind of geometry you want to have, and because for now as far as I can see, because it was declined, so you need to rotate this one to get the right geometries, otherwise it will become very flat. And for this one as well, let's do that, and you can hold on your shift key to enlarge everything. Press 0 to make them become a flattened one. Again, enlarge them. Okay, let's move and rotate. Rotate. And I think we can adjust the proportion of the entire snake. Probably we need more, so let's select this one. Select. Right here. Select. Okay, so basically let's take a look on the perspective view. Oh, somehow I guess there's something wrong here. Is there any way to fix that? Yes, for sure. Let's go to edit mode and select the edge. There are multiple ways to fill the hole inside, but this time probably I will use the simplest way to do that. Let's take a look. Let's select the edge. Select this one, let's select all of them, even the other side, and using fill. Select the bound using this one, fill sub-D hole, and choosing the edge, choosing the sub-D boundary. Even for the other side, I will pick them and press enter, and it will be fixed. Okay, the geometry will be looks a little bit weird, but for now I think it doesn't matter. All right. And also I need this vertex so that I can extrusions, so the result will look even better. Okay, so let's hide this one. Let's take a look. Probably I still need one more section here, so let's create one more section in the middle. That's F11. So that's the final result. These kind of geometries, well, we need to fix them because for now it doesn't look like the wrong corner. So let's do some manipulations of this one. Let's go to the OG mode and let's just choosing the edge. It will be easier. Okay, and let's move them inside. so it will become more smooth. And also let's do the same things in the other directions in this part. Okay, some error happened, but that's okay. Let's press F10 again. Alright, press F11. Let's take a look. Okay, because right now, let's take a look. Because this part become broken face, so there is something wrong here. Let's press Tab key again. The face right here, there is something wrong here. So I think let's just delete all of them, and it will be easier for us to control. Let's go to F10 and choosing face, and let's just direct delete. F10 and choosing the face right here. And choosing delete. And for this part as well, let's do the same thing. Delete. Okay. And also for this part, we need to do the same thing. Let's delete. Make sure they are clean. Okay. And for this part, let's just using fill hole to fill them and do the extrusion again. Okay. Let's choosing them. Alright. And then insert. And hold on your shift key to scale down the tail. Okay. Let's take a look. Probably much better than before. We still have to change a little bit about the section, but I think it's fairly okay. And also you can go to render mode to take a look of this one. Alright, so last part is about that. Because for now, another side is still just a preview. We can just merge them and so that get a better performance. Let's do this, okay? And finish these sections. How to do that? Just select them and go to reflect and using your right mouse button to select. And as far as you can see, it will become real geometry. So this is the final result for this time. Please try to finish the detail by yourself, including the teeth, the tongue, and all the rest apart. Okay, so I will show everything. Okay, so that's all about subdivision. It takes time to get familiar and get used to the operations, but it's a very important way for modeling. So make sure you can master it. All right? Okay, so that's all for today. See you next time. Don't forget to save.